All right, it is Monday. It is 1 o'clock. We are live Monday message. Man, I'm telling you what, crazy fired up about the things I'm seeing go on. I got the report for the past week's submit. And keep in mind, it's just the submit report. There's stuff that went in that we don't even know about. Because it doesn't, EAPs don't show up on the submit report with most of the carriers. So just on that and what y'all send in, by the way, report on the, go to the website like Adam showed last week and send us your report. We want to know what you did so we can recognize you. But massive number of unique riders, by far largest number of unique riders that we have had in a long time. And here's what's crazy. It's coming during December. Every year, I say December, records fall in November and December. Every year I say that, and it continues to happen, and it's happening right now. I was just on a Zoom with my base shop leaders and hearing about 7,000 issue paid this weekend, hearing about 5,000 issue paid this weekend, hearing about four new unique riders this week. Hearing that kind of stuff, I'm telling you, 2021 is going to be epic. Everything that we've been working towards, we've been pushing, we've been making things happen. It's coming to fruition. It's boiling over. And I'm telling you, it's just like I said weeks ago on this call, what we do next matters. And we have been killing it. Y'all have been killing it. I'm so fired up. Can't wait to read the numbers. Fired up about the Medicare rollout. That meeting's going on in Florida right now, the Medicare rollout. That is massive. We have the most aggressive compensation system for Medicare in the country. If you're not doing Medicare yet, let's go. Let's get you hooked up on the most aggressive compensation system in the country. That's what we've got. That's what's going on down in Florida right now. I'm going to be with Andy next week as we continue to roll things out with that. So fired up about that. If you're not doing it, let's go. What else is happening? New agents closing their first sales this weekend. I was texting back and forth with Victoria Dennis, one of our new directs, and she's like, first appointment was a no-show. Second appointment, there was a sale. And I said, that's awesome. She said, she wanted it. I showed her what she needed. And it's like, that's how this goes. So hearing more new agents hitting the field and being successful is awesome. The dial jam this morning. Oh my God. If you went on the dial jam, you missed out. We had a massive number of people on the dial jam. If you didn't get on this morning on the dial jam, we're kicking it back off at 2:30. Please join us on the dial jam. It's going to be crazy this afternoon. Crazy. Massive number of unique riders growing all over. And let me tell you something. Start now, thinking now about that week between Christmas and New Year's. Let me tell you something. The rest of the insurance industry, they're going to stop. They're going to come to a screeching halt this week. I promise you, I've been doing it 20 years. I'm telling you, the rest of the insurance industry is going to come to a screeching halt, and then they're going to get back at it after the first. So what does that tell you? Massive opportunity, massive opportunity. I'm telling you, if you pay attention to stuff like that, there is massive amounts of money to be made. When other people say, you can't be done, that's massive opportunity. I still remember the first time I read Zig Ziglar saying there's no traffic on the extra mile. I was like, I'm willing to do that. I'm telling you, that's the biggest difference between successful people and non-successful people is that extra 10%. So I'm telling you, a massive opportunity is sitting in front of us starting this weekend all through the new year. Foresters is killing it on issue right now. I would be sending everything I can through Foresters. They are by far our most aligned partner. They're the one at 100 on the 100 grid, right? They are our most aligned partner. They're throwing money at us like crazy. They're issuing like crazy right now. Let's hammer down on Foresters. Let's tell them they're betting right when they bet on us. I love that the rest of the companies that Foresters has sending them business got all ticked off about they found out about the fourth quarter Rolex. They got ticked off. I was like, that's right. We're the favorite. We're number one. We're the favorite. I love it. Hey, and then one last thing before we get into the numbers, the NAA, the Alliance private Facebook. If you're not on that, let's get you on that. How do I get on that? Get with your agency manager, get with your key leader, someone that could connect you to that private Facebook. It's just awesome way to stay inspired. I was telling my base shop leaders earlier, stories sell, stories motivate, stories move people. And guess who else they move? You and me. We need stories as much as everybody else. So join us on that private Facebook. All right, let's get started. Because we got to get started because we got so many people to read off. All producers over 1,000. We're going to start with Gada Asta, $1,169.28. Gregory Kagozi, $1,200. Chris Badner Rabidou, $1,000. $280. Chris Rabidou. Mary Weir, $1,316.88. Roxana Lau, $1,419.36. Mimi Ramiro, $1,440. Reba Davis, $1,513.44. Terry Moser, $1,742. Robert Jackson Jr., $1,772. Michael Sykes, $2,379.48. Austin Heater, $2,791.08. Jackie Jackson, $2,919.24. Latasha Patterson, $3,171.84. Stephen Paglari, $3,267.24. Doug Schaefer, $3,443.76. Sarah Stevens, $4,226. Sheena Flowers, $4,378.56. Ken Epi, $4,500. Just seeing so many new names. I'm telling you, it's happening all over. Billy and Ada Crane, $5,327.66. Rogers Straughter, $6,806. Way to go, Rogers. Proud of you, dude. And get this, Rogers accepted a challenge from Chris Hill to book 50 appointments this week, and he's hammering down after it. So proud of you, Rogers. Jeremico Edwards, $8,189.28. Get this, in order to get in the top 5, you had to submit over 10 grand last week. I'm telling you, it's going to go to get in the top 10. You got to submit 10 grand last week. Number 5 for the week last week would be me, $11,531.76. Number 4, Evan Patzer, $12,353.32. Number 3, Mark Hutchison, $13,721.16 across 20 apps. Number 2, so fired up about number 2 and number 1. Number 2, Gustavo Mercedes Terran, 20 applications, 20 apps, $19,129.08. 20 apps, way to go. So fired up. I want you to hear from Mercedes in just a minute. She's killing it, and she's talking trash to me. I love it. I love it. I love it. So proud of you guys. Gustavo Mercedes Terran. Speaking of stories, you need to learn this couple's story. Powerful what they fought through in 2020. Powerful. It's absolutely inspiring. Number 1 for the week last week, new agent, part of the Brandon Beals team, Tucker Parrish, $28,716.60 across 14 apps. Tucker, way to go, dude. That is awesome. All right, let's go to recruiting. Completed fast tracks last week, all with 1 direct completed fast track. You got Sabrina Floyd, Jacob Woods, Latasha Patterson, Misha Marsh. Misha, I see you. You're actually the title right in front of me on there, and I'm reading your name. Jeremico Edwards. Misha, you kill this Medicare deal with us. I'm telling you. Noel Wilson. Oh, so that was all with 1 direct completed fast track. I got distracted there. So tied with 2 direct completed fast tracks. Noel Wilson, Roger Straughter, with 3 direct completed fast tracks would be my base shop, and leading the way with 8 direct completed fast tracks. No surprise, Brandon and Ashley Beal. Enrolled in licensing last week, we had Austin Heater and Roger Straughter both enroll 1 direct in licensing. That's another thing to report to us through the TDG website, because we don't see the licensing signups, and we want to recognize you for signing people up for licensing. That's the first step towards financial freedom for them. So we want to recognize you for getting them hooked up. So report that on the website. We want to read your name off because I know we had more than this. And then my base shop led the way with 8 direct enrollees in licensing last week. All right, all with 1 direct new agent contract completed. You got Diana Castile, Roger Straughter, Eduardo Soto, Evan Patzer, and Latasha Patterson. Noel Wilson and my base shop here tied with 3 direct completed contracts last week. Leading the way, Brandon and Ashley Beal, no surprise. Number 4, way to go. I'm sorry, number 1 with 4. Way to go, Brandon. You're killing it, dude. You absolutely got me fired up last week on this call, man. Just seeing the certainty in your eyes about going partner. You keep hammering, dude. I'm proud of you. All right, let's get some guests on the call. So first up, I want to hear from Mr. Hutch. Dude, he is all in on growth. He's got some he laid out some major commitments, and I just want you to, and he's hammering it in personal production. I just want you to hear what's going on in his heart, what he's thinking, what he's feeling. 2021 is going to be epic for Hutch and for Shannon, and I'm just fired up to get to be a part of it. So Hutch, come on, man, share some of your heart, share some of what's going on. What are you thinking? What are you committed to? Share all that good stuff with us, bro.
Absolutely, man. We were just talking on the call that we had before this with some of the leaders in your base shop of, how records are going to get broken this year. And that's true every single year during the holiday season. Most other insurance agencies and agents are going to take the rest of the time off. They're going to, say, well, people are busy. People are too busy spending time with their family. It's the holidays. They don't want to be bothered with buying insurance. And so I'm just going to, take a break because nobody's buying. And what that does for the average agent is it stresses them the crap out because now they're broke because they're not making any money because they're not out trying to help families. But the bigger problem is they're believing the biggest lie in the insurance industry. And that lie is that people don't buy around the holidays. I'm going to tell you, they absolutely do buy. One of the best years I had, one of the best weeks I had in my first 5 years in the business was the week between Christmas and New Year's. I went out in a day and a half of business and wrote over $14,000 in business. Why? Because people buy during the holidays. It's just most agents are looking for an excuse not to work during the holidays. And there's multiple reasons for why people buy. One, they've got family with them. And part of that amongst those family gatherings, they're looking at empty seats across the table, seats that were full last year. This Christmas, there are people that that are going to be spending Christmas season without a loved one, somebody that passed away. Maybe it was from COVID, maybe it was from, just age or health issues earlier this year, and they passed away, and now they're no longer there during the holiday season. And that time brings a lot of bittersweetness to them. One, because the memories that they have of those seasons in the past that that family members no longer with them. But two, many of them realize that, hey, we had to struggle to bury mom. We had to take out a loan to put dad in the ground. We had to ask family to start a GoFundMe account and have people chip in. And so they're realizing, hey, I don't want to duplicate that same process with my family. And that's why a lot of these cards are coming in right now, these final expense cards, as people are looking for coverage. So the question isn't, do people buy during the holidays? Because the answer is very clearly, yes, they do. The question is, do you care enough to go out and help people during the holiday season? Another reason why people buy in the holidays is because that's when they're home. How many of you have made dials and been told, well, I can't get people, to book with me because they're too busy, and they're going. The holiday season is when a lot of people stack up their vacation time so that they can be there with family. And so it's during the holiday season, you will catch a lot of people at home that you might have a harder time booking during the busyness of the other, 11 months out of the year. So, people have family members they're missing, they're home during the holidays. And then there's just the aura of intimacy and love and, holiday cheer. And, I get that's not true for every individual out there, but there's that seasonal nostalgia, that seasonal love that people have. And that's when family's on their mind. That's when they want to make sure they're taken care of most. So Stephen said a little bit ago, and it's absolutely true, records will absolutely be broken during this holiday season. And the question is, do you want it to be your records that are broken because you cared enough? Or do you want to sit back and watch other people break records while you're still trying to convince yourself that people don't buy during the holidays? So we're not letting our foot off the gas. We're out there helping families. Got agents coming over today that we're doing dials with because we know, hey, people buy, they need it, and you and your family need it. Here's the thing. Don't sit there and think, well, I'll just wait till next week right before Christmas and have a massive day or two and be fine. You need to be putting that business in the pipeline now, getting that pipeline built up so that you can enjoy your family time during the holidays while still helping other families. And you're not stressing about, I wanted to buy this, but we don't have the money because I haven't been out making sales and I haven't been running appointments. So don't get caught in that trap of just, well, let me just hang on till the holidays get over and then I'll go out and kill it. You need to be doing that right now, getting that money in the pipeline so that you're stress-free during the holidays, at least from a financial standpoint.
I love it, dude. I love it, man. And share with me your plans on going district manager.
Absolutely. I mean, we got some sharp guys and gals coming on the team that are passing their test this week. Some just came out of licensing last week and passed their test, already have their licenses in hand. Got a particular leg coming on strong with multiple people in depth underneath him. And the puzzle pieces are in place there so that in January and February, it's realistically numerically possible that instead of just recognizing qualifying AM, we can recognize qualified DM. And that's what we're shooting for sure, that we're going to do everything we can to push for that and hit that level in January, February.
Yeah, just skip AM. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we don't know, we were talking on our base shop chat before this, like, we don't know if it's been done before. Like, it may not have been done. So somebody's got to be the first, right? Nothing was done until someone decided to do it.
It didn't used to be able to be that way. That's the beauty of it. Like, you could go put out massive numbers, but you used to have to just go one level at a time, one level promotion at a time. And what Andy's done to take all stops off of that and to release the brakes on that, where there's no limitations, it's absolutely incredible, man. And that's, I think that's fired a lot of us up to realize, hey, since we don't have those holds anymore, why not go big? Why not go big and skip one level? Why not skip 2 or 3 levels? So that's definitely what we're pushing for, man.
I love it. I love it, man. Keep leading, be vocal, be visual, keep hammering. So proud of you, dude. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, man. All right, next up, I want to get Mercedes on. Mercedes, I'm fired up for 2 reasons. I'm fired up because you went out and knocked out 20 applications for just short of $20,000 in 1 calendar week. But I'm even more fired up because you're talking trash to me. Like, that gets me fired up. I love seeing people that got a backbone. Most people got a backbone of like Jello. They're just weak, scaredy cats, but not you. I love it. I love it. So light us up, Mercedes. Tell us some of the magic going on in your world. We can't hear you. You're on mute. Oh, we made the wrong one. We made Gustavo. Hang on here. I got you. I think this is the other one. All right. Try now.
Can you hear my accent?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
That is the attitude that I want to see you. Hi, everyone. Hi, Davis Nation. This is an amazing 2020. Some people that they lost the job. That was a crazy 2020, a crazy year for us. We must be so grateful about the Alliance, about definitely Andy and Jane, my dear Jane, of course you and Holly, Steve. That is the amazing company to learn, to be, like I say, to be grateful. Yes, we had 20 applications. Some people think that it's only Spanish clients, and no, I swear, no. I think that the key word for us, especially for me, this is a new business for me. I'm not doing this for a while. No, I'm doing this for less than 2 years, to be honest, and a year and a half. I don't know a lot of things. I don't know about the language. And the only thing that I can say for everyone, for the new agents, for new people that some part-time or sometimes, just listen, believe in your team, believe in your managers, listen, be humble to this business. You must be humble. Still, I want to talk with all of these agents that say, yeah, I have some struggles. Really? You have a struggle? What about this? It's not easy, but you need to be confident in that this is the right business. We are in the right time with the right people in the right business. Just pushing, just believe. Don't listen other people outside here. Just be confident in this company because I know that this business really works.
I love it, Mercedes.
Love it, Mercedes. Yes.
So fired up.
So fired up. So fired up.
You keep leading.
You keep leading.
You keep hammering.
You keep hammering.
So and keep talking trash to me.
And keep talking trash to me.
I'm all right.
I'm outright you this week.
That's it. That's it.
I love it. Thank you for sharing, Mercedes. You guys absolutely continue to inspire me. Absolutely continue to inspire me. You and Gustavo both just inspiring people. I love it. And someday everyone needs to hear their story, what they fought through. And even when they share their story,
even when they share their story,
it's going to be this much.
it's going to be
It's going to be this much of what they really went through, how scared they were, and how they fought in spite of it. And all the stuff you're saying is absolutely right. Don't listen to outside influences. Don't. Mercedes says you can do 20 applications for 19,000 in a week. You can do it. She's doing it. So proud of you guys. Love you guys so much. Awesome. All right. Now we want to do some training on something that will set you free. Here's what you don't want to be. You don't want to be a lead junkie. Are leads powerful? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Mercedes wrote that business off of leads. And I'm telling you, it's powerful. But what you don't want to be is a lead junkie. You won't be in this 5 years and still need leads every week just to write 10 grand. I'm telling you, if you would just buy in, sell out 100%, that what Evan's going to tell you next is the law. It's the law. If you don't do it, your car will explode. If you don't do it, you will cause a rupture in the universe, which will never be prepared. It will never be repaired. It's that important that you do what we're talking about here. ERS will get you free. ERS will get you free. Don't get me wrong. Invest in leads like crazy, but ERS will get you free. And I'll tell you something, the carriers will tell you. That's the reason a lot of them ask if this was a referral when you write business, because they know referral business is higher persistency than lead driven business. So not only will it get you free, it's more profitable, and it just starts a cycle that goes crazy. So Evan, I'm going to mute out and I'm going to listen in. I'm going to take some notes. Noel's already set up as a co-host, so you pull him in to share some of his success. I'm going to let you run the next little bit, bro, and I'm going to take some notes, and then I'm going to come back and I've got 6 thoughts on motivation for you. People say I can't get motivated. I'm telling you, it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie you've been telling yourself. It's a lie you've been telling yourself. You can get motivated. You can get motivated immediately. You can get them motivated anytime you want. I'm going to share 6 things with you on that after Evan teaches on the ERS. Evan, light us up, brother.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear, bro.
All righty, brother. Yeah, and just to top off of what you said, I mean, I think this is actually not getting ERS is actually a 11th commandment in the Bible. So
it's a war crime on top of that to not get referrals.
Deadly sin. No, with that being said, I was just talking to Steven, and once again, thank you for having me on the call. It's always an honor. I love having the privilege and the opportunity to speak to Davies Nation and add some insight, add some reminders, and some things that are on my heart and on my mind as of lately. And I was talking to Steven actually last week, the beginning of the afternoon dial session, and I said, Steven, I think we haven't talked about this in a while. A lot of people in the Davies Nation, in the Alliance, know the importance of getting referrals and implementing the ERS system, but we just haven't talked. We haven't trained on it in a long time. And I think naturally human nature goes, and I'm guilty as charged. I'm somebody that's just as vulnerable to making the mistakes as well. But I think naturally us as humans, we decide that if it's not being trained on, it's not being talked about, we don't put as much urgency and focus on doing it, and therefore we suffer as a result of it. So what I want to talk about today, and what Steven's asked me to give a little bit more detailed insight about, is something that's already been trained on in detail. I didn't create it. I didn't invent it. It's something that I've copied directly from people that have killed it in this area, and I've had a lot of success myself. And I'm going to bring Noel Wilson on because recently I know he's somebody that has been capitalizing and focusing on getting referrals and using the ERS system to do that. And so I want him to share some of the successes and outcomes he's had by using it. But first things first, for those of you that are new, the question is, what is the ERS? Okay, so let me answer that. So the ERS, it stands for Emergency Response System. And the way I explain it to my clients is, you know how at school or at work you're required to put a set of emergency contacts in the event that something were to happen to you, like you got injured or sick. They needed to know who to contact as a caretaker or somebody close to you to make sure that they can help you out getting whatever your issue is fixed. And so it's the same exact thing for your life insurance policy. So a while ago, I'm not sure when it was created, probably 3 or 4 years ago, some bright mind within the Alliance decided to actually put together this thing called an ERS, Emergency Response System, that is a double-edged benefit. The first and primary focal benefit of the ERS is to make sure 100% that the clients that you protect with life insurance, their benefits and their payout, their death claim gets paid out in a very quick and efficient manner. And the reason for that is because it's notorious that in the insurance industry, there's tons of unpaid death claims or delayed death claims because people simply have lost their insurance policy, or their friends and family members don't know who they had coverage with, what carrier they had coverage with, or even if they did have coverage. And it's a big problem, right? And so the first thing that we think about when doing this is that we're full service, 100% full circle, taking care of the client to make sure that the policy you put in place for them is going to be paid out to their beneficiary. And so how do we implement this? So I'm going to go through some, I would say, because there's a lot that I would need a lot of time to go into complete detail. And if you are taking notes right now, that's fine. But I have already given Stephen Davies and his staff a complete PDF packet of everything you need and everything I'm about to talk about today, and even more that you're going to need to use to have a successful ERS presentation from start to finish and actually generate income, extra income from the ERS system instead of just being a lead junkie like Stephen was talking about. So first things first, you go to your client's house, you build a relationship, build rapport, get a health assessment done, find a policy, write a policy that's going to suit their needs and get them approved, and you write the application. Boom. You've completed it. Okay. And now you're sitting there with the client. And what most people do, I included myself, I was very bad about this when I first started, is once they get that check, they get it and they dart out the door. They don't want to deal with anything else. And that's the absolute worst thing you can do as far as how to run your business, because you're losing so much opportunity, right? And a lot of people, when they're new, they're scared to just straight up ask for referrals. And that's okay. I understand that. And the prescription for that is to actually implement a system that's first focusing on the client and their family, and has a byproduct of getting additional referrals and sales from that system to benefit you as well. So you've got your ATM. Everybody knows what the ATM is. And if you've gone through your ATM and you use it properly, you come across this page all the time. And it's the page that's titled Emergency Response System. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to give you an entire packet of everything I talk about today. Stephen's staff can send it out to you upon request. It's going to have all the tools you need for it. Okay. So I just got done helping John and Mary with 2 life insurance policies. And this is exactly what I say. And there's a script that's in the PDF as well. So I say, John and Mary, the last thing we need to do, and this is very important, I emphasize how important it is we need to set up your emergency response system. Well, what is that? Simply put, I have this out. I say, you see, John and Mary, the emergency response system is an exclusive way that our organization takes additional action to make sure your policy gets paid out in an effortless, timely manner to your beneficiary, Joe, your son, or whatever. You see, statistically, there's been a problem in America, and I point at it. At any given time, there's over $1 billion of unclaimed delayed life insurance benefits that aren't paid out for a couple of different reasons. The first reason is friends and family members or beneficiaries of people who had policies simply have either no idea that they had a policy, if they were a beneficiary, or even who the insurance company is that would be covering the person that just passed away, such as yourself. Okay. And so that creates a problem. You see, obviously, just like anything, we have busy lives, and you get caught up and you get a policy, and a year later, you don't know how much coverage you have. The policy gets misplaced somewhere, you move, and nobody in your family has any idea what to do with that policy or where to access that policy, or even if you have a policy when you pass away. You see, I'm guilty of it myself. We as people just think things are automatically going to take care of themselves when we pass, and that's not the case. That's why we created the ERS, the Emergency Response System. Okay. The Emergency Response System is a system that we put in place to make sure your top 10 friends, family members, and close loved ones have an instruction manual and a to-do list in order for us to make sure that your policy gets paid out accordingly. Now, you say probably that sounds a little crazy. I don't even have 10 people that I know or trust. Or why would I need 10? Well, here's the reason why, and I agree with you. The reason is because if you pass away and you only have 2 people on your ERS, what if either those people have already passed away and gone, or they simply are not in the moment or in the position to be able to make a phone call, or maybe they misplaced the instruction manual that we gave them. But if we get 10 people, our odds are so much higher that at least 1 or 2 out of those 10 are for sure going to be able to help us facilitate the processing of the claim. They can give me a call, they can give the insurance company a call, and they can follow the instructions and make it simple for the family. Does that make sense? And everybody always says it makes sense. And I don't get any resistance on that at all. And the next thing you do is you've got your ERS sheet, which you'll get that. You should already have them. I've got it in the PDF that you have access to. And you just start saying, all right, who's the first person? One note that I'll make is it's very important for you to emphasize local, because a lot of times people have family all over the country and they're going to end up giving you people in California, Texas, Georgia. And if you're not in that state, it's okay to call them, and it's important to do that, but you want to focus on people local, because one, that gives you the opportunity to go meet with them and help them with their needs. And then also those people are closest to that loved one, so that they probably find out sooner. And that's what I tell them. So you say, all right, who's next? Who's next? Who's next? You get their name, their relationship, their phone number, what city they live in. And then you keep going down the list until you've completely exhausted it. Okay. And then this is an important step too. Okay. You say, all right, now that we've put together your ERS, I'm going to make it a little bit easier on you and your loved ones to get this information. Okay. I've got a pre put together text message that I'm going to have you send out to each one of those people. And I take a picture of the ERS so that they have a copy of who they put on there. We send it out to each one of them. By the way, the text message is in there. It basically just says, hey, I just got an insurance policy. Don't worry, I'm okay. My insurance agent's going to give you a call in the next week or so. This is his number. This is his name. Please take his call. It's important. And that gives you the opportunity to not have to be dealing with, that gives you the opportunity not to have the situation where you're dealing with calling those people on the list and they're not taking your call because they don't recognize your number. Okay. So you're done with that. You probably take a selfie with the client. And then you leave them my insurance, I am your insurance brochure, which I've included in the PDF that you're going to have access to. All right. So now you're done. And a lot of people do this, and I want to emphasize this. They get the ERSs, and I was guilty of this, but they never call them. They're like, oh, I got the ERSs, but they're too scared to call them. They feel like in their mind, they've got this mindset that, oh, I really only got the ERSs because I wanted to sell more insurance and get referrals, blah, 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 blah. But no, like, you cannot have that mindset. You have to follow through with it as it's your duty. It's your ethical duty to make sure that client and their family is taken care of full circle. Okay, so you make up your mind. You're going to do the right thing. You're going to get them out during your dial session and implement them into calling your leads. So you call them, and it's pretty simple. And I have a script, but I'm not going to read off of it. I'm going to keep it simple. You call them and just say, hey, John, this is Evan. You don't know me, but I got your name and number from so-and-so. Hey, quick call. The reason I'm giving you a call, the reason for my call is I just helped John and Mary get a policy put in place, and they thought of you as somebody valuable and responsible enough, and they put you on what's called their emergency response system. No worries, everything's fine with them. It's just a simple system that we put in place to make sure that when the time comes and they go on to their wherever they go, okay, they believe that you're trusted enough to where you can follow a simple set of instructions to help us get their policy paid out to their family so that there's no delay. Are you okay with that? And they always say, yes, they're honored. Okay, whatever. Awesome. Well, I've got some information I need to go over with you, and I need to make sure that it gets put into a safe place. I'm going to be I see you're here in Columbus. I'm going to be out your way tomorrow and the next day. when would be a good time for me to drop this off and go over it with you for a few minutes? They give me a time. I book the appointment. Boom. Okay. And the sheet, so I actually have something to give to them. This is also in the packet, is this right here. It's a sheet that basically has all the pertinent information, phone numbers, insurance company, things about the policy that you need to provide to the person on the ERS. And then it also has at the top, a detailed list of things that we help people with, like burial and final expense, mortgage protections, children's policies, disability coverage, retirement, blah, blah, blah. And what you do is you go over that slowly, but you would have checked the boxes for the ones that you actually help the client with. And then it give them opportunity for them to ask you questions about those things for themselves as well. Okay. And most of the time that they do, because remember, you're a trusted source. You're already somebody that has been referred by the person that they know. So they automatically trust you more because they know that the other person trusted you enough to buy from you. And so but in the event that they did not ask you about final expense or if you can do anything for them either, you fill this out. And God, like I said, this is an expedited training. I could do this training for an hour in detail. That's what the PDFs you're going to have access to are for. It gives you the full script for everything, detailed breakdown. If they say, all right, you hand it over to them and say, all right, now one thing I did promise John and Mary is that because we realized that most insurance agents in the past never set up an ERS for folks, I did promise them that I would help you to set your emergency response system up as well. So you don't have to go through, because you would have explained to them what the ERS is in more detail when you got there. So, and I say, who do you have your insurance with? And then be quiet. So they either going to say who it is, or they're going to say, I don't have insurance. Okay. If they say who it is, then it gives you the opportunity to go into more detail and ask them what their plan looks like. How much do they pay? How much coverage do they have? Do they think it's enough? Are they happy? If they say they don't have insurance, that gives you a perfect in to say, well, we got to get that taken care of, right? And 90% of the time they say yes, and then it gives you the opportunity to boom, get another free client and another 10 ERSs, and then a domino effect. Think of a pyramid, a domino effect. Guys, listen, I don't want to take a lot of time because I feel like I'm rambling because I'm so excited about this system, even though we've been doing this for a long time. But if you do this properly, you will turn your business into a profitability machine. You won't be what Steven said, lead junkie. I've fallen victim to it off and on throughout the years, and it's not a good thing because every time you go to a house and you don't get ERSs, or if you do, you don't follow up with them and go meet with their friends and family, you're missing out on absolute tons of premium. Your profitability is so reduced, and that's how you don't get free. You've got to do this. Take the extra 10 minutes in each home to get it done, because usually out of every 10 ERSs you get, you should get another 2 to 3 sales from that list. And then on each of those 2 or 3, you get ERSs from them, and it just sprinkles. You've heard of Lee Reyes. You've heard of some of these people that are killing it. Lee Reyes went the entire year last year, won the trip to Alaska on all ERSs, not a single lead. Now, once again, like Steven said, you don't want to not get leads. We need new business too. Those people need our help too. But this is the complete system, okay? And just make sure you're doing it. And if you have questions, go back through the PDF, ask your growing up line, your manager, reach out to me, whatever, I can help you with it. But I promise you, it's a gold mine and it's an absolute must do. Noel, are you on, buddy?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you loud and clear, man. You're looking jacked.
Thank you.
Hey, and I was talking to Steven about this last week, and I immediately thought of you because I know that you have just been out there maximizing every way to generate income and every way to make money. And I'm inspired by that because it's good to see somebody else is actively doing this real. And I think I heard something about saying you've gotten like over 80 referrals or something as of recently, but just tell people how much it it's changed your business and your income and what it's looked like over the past couple of months, because I wanted to see a real life example of somebody that's just doing the basics, doing the ERS, getting the referrals, and how it's changed your business and your life.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. As always, Stephen and Holly, for allowing me to be on this call. I definitely don't take it lightly, like no one ever does. This is a great opportunity for me to share, a little bit about what it is that I'm doing, how I'm implementing things. And Evan is 100% correct. This is literally like the Fifth Amendment for our business. Okay, if you're not utilizing the ERS system, you are literally missing out on so much more value that you can add to your income, to your relationships that you build with these clients and everything else along that nature. So I've been this year specifically, I've been at the beginning of the year, I heard Lee Reyes do a training on the ERSs, and I knew for a fact that I wanted to be like Lee Reyes and utilize the ERS system to the maximum limit that it could do for us. Evan is 100% correct. I do utilize every single one of those techniques that he had mentioned. Form, everything. I also put the policy number down on that form for the clients, just in case they aren't able to get a hold of me, they could call the carrier directly. I usually started out with telling people earlier, before last month, I started telling people, I was telling people I needed at the very least 10 people to put down. And the reason why I need 10 people is because 1 in 10 people will remain a hold of that form for years to come. A lot of people move, a lot of people misplace things, a lot of people accidentally throw things away, whatever the case may be, 1 in 10 people, will remain hold of that form. And so I was consistently getting just 10 names. And then a lot of times whenever people will say, oh, I don't even think I know 10 people, start off with people's beneficiaries. Okay. Set them up so that way it's very easy for them to start naming off people without no pullback. So I always start off with the beneficiaries' names, and then I say, okay, do you have any siblings? They put their siblings, parents, uncles, aunts, cousins. Who's your best friend? And they start just listing off names. Well, like I said, I was getting just on average about 10 referrals for every family that I helped. And it wasn't until recently that I upped it even more. So I still use the same script, but now I'm asking people between 15 and 18 names. And all you have to do is ask. If you ask, so shall you receive. But it has absolutely transformed my business to like night and day. I was talking to Soto, and he told me, go back to that very first lead that you had and see how many clients you've acquired just from that one person filling out an ERS. And I went back, it's gonna sound crazy, but I went back to one specific lead that I had, and it ended up leading me to have, I think it's 35 clients. And of those 35 clients, I've easily had over 200 referrals.
So question is this, and I gotta stop at this point because that's huge. I want people to realize, would you rather get one lead, you paid $30 for it, and you made 500, maybe less, maybe more, who knows? Or would you rather get one lead, work the heck out of it and work its network and do the right thing for their entire family and friend circle and make 10 grand, 15 grand? Because that's exactly what Noel just did. One lead. Profitability, whoop, right? Sorry, go ahead, keep talking, bro.
Yeah, you're absolutely not wrong at all, man. Because after I help that family, like Evan said, I'll go through, tell them about that client, what we set up. And I actually, which I'm now going to start utilizing what Evan said by saying, I talked to Marianne, and she wanted me to set up your emergency contact list for you because she never got anything about your policy. So I always just said, at the end of me going through their policy information, asking them, hey, do you have your emergency contact list set up for your life policy? And they'll tell you right then and there if they have a policy or if they don't. If they have a policy, awesome. Who's it through? Just so that way I'll do what your agent probably did not do for yourself, and I'll set up your emergency contact list because I don't want you and your family to be a growing statistic within our industry of unclaimed and the unclaimed claims out there. I want your family to benefit from it. So outside of your beneficiary, who else knows that you have this policy? And they'll say, well, nobody. Okay, well, awesome. Well, let's pop out that policy and let's start setting up your emergency contact list. That also has led to me replacing policies. People do not know what they have until you actually review it with them. There, especially here in Ohio, I don't know how it is, or on the East Coast, but I don't know how it is around the rest of the country. But there's a company called American Income Life that is massive here. They write a lot of policies, and they fail to educate their clients on what it is that they truly have. I had just sat down with a woman the other day. She thought she had $65,000 worth of coverage. In fact, she only had $15,000 worth of whole life and $50,000 of accidental. Meanwhile, this agent the entire time was telling her, "Oh, if something happens, $65,000 will be paid out." I had her call her agent while I was in the home. That ended up leading me to getting 23 referrals from her, because all those 23 referrals, a lot of them were individuals that he had also had sat down with and wrote policies for. Every time I go into a home, most people don't want to, most people don't really want to talk about insurance. Insurance is insurance, life insurance, they think about death. Well, whenever I start explaining things to them, and educating your clients is a 100% must. Please do not leave a home without them knowing the basic differences between whole life term and universal life. Otherwise, you're going to be shooting yourself in the foot, because you'll have an agent like me who's going to follow right behind you, and I'll end up writing the policies. But yeah, getting a list is an absolute must as far as setting up those emergency contacts. And then please, 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 I beg of you, do not make this mistake that I made. In September, I had a woman that I wrote a policy on. She gave me a list of 20 names. I waited to call her emergency contact list. At the end of December, she actually had a heart attack and passed away. The family called me because they knew that she had a policy, which her husband was there. So he's the only one that knew my contact information. But the family called me and they wished and prayed that I had gotten a hold of them. I don't know why I did not. I don't know. But call everybody's emergency contact list, because even after, I did speak with a couple of them, I asked if I could swing over and just set up their emergency contact list. It actually shot me in the foot by them saying, well, you didn't do it for my mom. Please, 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 if you get a list, even if it's just one person, call them. Call them, call them, call them, okay? Do not make that same mistake I made. She was a very lovely woman, and it kind of just, I like to believe it kind of just shot my credibility with that family. And that was a list of 20 names that I could have potentially, helped. But now, because I never called them about their mother's policy, they probably would not be doing business with me. And so don't make the same mistake I made. Always ask for a list, and do not be afraid to ask for 15 to 20 names. Don't be afraid to do it, because at the end of the day, we are helping them. We're benefiting them. And there is no appointment more easier to close than an ERS appointment. No appointment at all easier to close.
And book.
To give you guys an example, I've been running nothing but ERS appointments over these last couple of months. If I have a list of leads with me, I may put in 150 to 180, 200 dials for that Monday dial jam, and I'll talk to like 35, between 30 to 40 people, and then I'll get my 20 appointments typically. But with ERSs, I can tell you my numbers exactly from Thursday. I made 57 dials, talked to 23 people, booked 22 appointments. It is so much easier to book appointments off of ERSs than it is leads. So please utilize the leads to get the ERSs. And when you get ERSs, call them. Do not call them. So that's all I got. If you want to know anything else, let me know.
Hey man, you was awesome, man. You got me fired up even more than I already am. Crazy numbers right there. And it just shows you anybody can do it. Don't be silly. One big takeaway is you can't just go get listed. And I'm guilty of it. I've been where Noel's been. But look how that backfired on him and the family. It didn't just hurt him, but it hurt his family. And so what's the point of getting the list if you're not going to call them? Just call them. It's easy. And then go meet with them. Are you going to get every sale? No. Is it going to be a sale every time? No. Not everybody's going to need your help, but you're giving yourself the opportunity to maximize the biggest outcome for you and your business and become as profitable as possible. And if you don't do it, then you're screwing yourself and you're not doing the right thing for the client. So it should be a mandatory thing. I know we all make mistakes but I wanted to reiterate it on the Monday message because I think that's something I needed to hear myself talk about. And I think it's something we all needed to hear. We'll all freshen up a little bit on that. But Stephen, I know you got some awesome training. Why don't you get back on here and light us up, man? Hopefully that was what you wanted us to share, but thank you so much for your time.
I love it. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for bringing it up. Noel, thanks for sharing your story. I got to tell you this, Noel. Brandon Beal texted me while you were talking. He said, this kid is a stud, man. Next AM right there. And I'm like, yep. I agree 100%, Brandon. AM right there. I love it. All right, so let's get started. Last thing I want to share is just 6 thoughts on motivation. People will talk about motivation more than they'll do things. It's crazy. I can't get motivated. I need more motivation. I can't get motivated. I'm telling you, it's simple. Motivation is simple. Motivation is super simple. So I'm going to give you 6 quick things that will help you create motivation at any time, anywhere, any place. All right. Number 1, this is simple. It's doable, but I got to have you believe it. Number 1 is act. You have to act. You will never feel your way into an action, but you will act your way into a feeling. If you don't believe me, tell someone you're upset with, I love you. Tell someone that you maybe have been feuding with. Just start saying, I love you. Watch what changes inside of you. Those feelings you've been having about, I need to, they're not doing anything until it's act. You cannot feel your way into an action. That's why nobody has a personal revelation laying on the couch, but you can act your way into a feeling. So number 1 is just act. Just pull the trigger. The motivation will come. I'm going to finish with number 6. It's going to come right back and tie into that, but it's got to start with that. So the dial jam starts at 2:30, just act. Click on, be on the dial jam, make your first call. Act. You will never feel your way into an action, but I promise you, if you act with enough force, you will feel a feeling. And you know that because you were debating on whether or not to work out, and then you acted, and then all of a sudden motivation comes. But you will never feel your way into an action. You will always have to act your way into a feeling. All right. Number 2, routine. Use routine to create motivation. Use routine and ritual to create motivation. I talked about that a little while ago. Someone brought that up when we talked about how cinnamon is my trigger. Anytime I smell cinnamon, I'm ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, let's go. It's go time. Hey, let me tell you something. Routine and ritual creates motivation. What's your routine? What's your ritual to create motivation? Look at high performing athletes. They do this all the time, but use routine and ritual. And I'll give you a tip. Here's what I do. I learned this from, leadership book, seminar, something. Hide what you don't want to do in between 2 things you do want to do in your routine. Hide something you don't want to do. Put it between 2 things you want to do on a routine. I'm telling you, so when you do the first thing you want to do, then you do the thing that you don't want to do, and then you got that thing you want to do on the other side of the routine, it will create motivation to do what you don't want to do. All right, number 3, get around motivated people. Join us on the dial jam. There was a ton of people on this morning. Let's have even more on this afternoon. Hey, join us on the dial jam. Get around people that are motivated. Get around people that got that fire. I love it when I hear Billy starting the dial jam on Mondays. All right, here we go. And I'm like, yee. Get around people that will make you want to work. I'm telling you, and you know this. You ever anybody spend time this weekend around demotivating people? How you feel afterwards? Just sucks the life right out of you, doesn't it? Just sucks that life right out of you. Get around our people. Get on the dial jam. Get around people that are motivated. You will get motivated. Hey, it's why we're the average of our 5 closest friends. The 5 closest people to in your life, you will always be the average of. Financially, physically, you hang around a bunch of people that don't take staying in shape serious. Watch it change you. You hang around people, put yourself in a group that does. Watch it change you. It's going to work one way or the other. Just be purposeful with it. Put yourself around motivated people. Be on the dial jam. Here's number 4. Be visible. Put yourself in a space where you're going to be watched and watch the motivation come. That's why when you're on the dial jam, turn your camera on. Let us see you working. We're not a judgmental group. I don't care if you didn't get your hair done or whatever. Just put your camera on. When you put yourself in a visible spot, motivation will come. Put yourself out there. I'm telling you, put your numbers out there. Just be visual. That's one of the things I'm always telling my leaders. Be visual, be vocal. But being visible is massive when it comes to motivation. When you know people are watching, you're going to act right. That's just how we work as human beings. You say, well, some people aren't like that. They know everybody's watching and they don't act right. Well, we're not talking about them. We ain't worried about them. I'm worried about me and you. Me and you are the kind of people that when we're visible, we perform. When we're visible, we perform, me and you, because we're leaders. So put yourself in a visible platform. Put your camera on. Turn your mic off, put your camera on. Let us see you work. Watch some motivation come. I promise you. All right, number 5, connect the dots. Connect the dots between what you want and what you got to do. Here's what's crazy. I have done this thing so long that I can't remember if I actually like making dials or not. I can't remember. I can't remember going back if I like making dials or not. But here's what I know. I love what making dials does. I love what making dials creates. I love being able to do stuff for my family. I love being able to give money away without having to think twice about it. I love being able to do that. Ergo, I love dials. I love dials because I love what it does. I'm telling you, I don't love working out, but I do love being in better shape, living healthier. I do love having the energy to play pickup hockey with Chandler. I love it. Ergo, I love exercise. So connect those dots. Every dial is a dial closer to you getting yourself free. Every dial. Every dial is you getting closer to partner and getting that massive, massive multi-million-dollar check that Brandon and I were talking about last week. That Brandon and I haven't stopped thinking about since last week. I know I haven't, Brandon. I'm sure you haven't either, bro. Every dial gets you closer. Connect the dots between what you want and what you don't want to do. Connect those dots. All right, last one, bite size. I was explaining that to Victoria Dennis, one of our new directs that went out and wrote business this weekend. Don't commit to making 300 dials. People say that all the time. I'm going to make 300 dials this week. Okay. I hear you. But when it's too big, we often become overwhelmed and do nothing. We want to start running, but the thought of running 10 miles is so overwhelming, we just walk right back to the couch. Commit to small things. Commit to small amounts of activity. Those stacked will keep you motivated. So that's what I told Victoria. I said, just commit to making 50 dials. Just commit. I'm just going to make 50 dials. I'm just going to make 50 dials. Now, don't just make 50 dials. And you won't, because here's what I know. Once you make 50 dials, you got mojo. Once you got 50 dials, you got motivation. Once you got 50 dials, you're going to make another 50 dials. And what do you do when you make that 50 dials and you're at 100? Just commit to 50 more dials. Just commit to 50 more dials. It's the same thing Andy was talking about with donuts. You put whole donuts out. And like, I don't want to take a donut. Cut them into quarters. Well, I'll have one. I'm gonna try that one too. Next thing you know, you ate a whole donut. Same deal. We're just putting it to use positively. Just commit to small amounts. All right, guys. Love you. Hope that helps. I know it will if you put it into place. I do want to talk to you about something really big as we close the call. January 3rd, Saturday, January 3rd. Soto had a great idea. Soto had an amazing idea. He had such a good idea. Actually, I'm sorry, that's the 2nd, July 2nd. No, not July 2nd, January 2nd. I should make every month start with a different letter, just keep it from being confusing. January 2nd, 11 a.m. to 3, we're going to do a new agent boot camp over Zoom. We're going to get top producers to teach how to do what we do. So mark it down on your calendars, January 2nd, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. new agent boot camp. And you say, well, I'm not a new agent. Can I join? Absolutely. Unless you're outrighting Mercedes and Hutch and me and Tucker Parrish. Come on. Join in. You're going to learn something. Soto, I'm so glad you had that idea, bro. Thank you for bringing that up to me. We're committed to doing a new agent boot camp first Saturday of January, first Saturday of February, first Saturday of March. Can I go to all three? Absolutely. I think you should. Can I wait till February? You can. I don't know why, but whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But I'm telling you, join us on that boot camp. It's going to be amazing. We're going to put a lot of great content into it, and we're committed to doing it the first 3 months of the year. Because guess what? Me and Soto are just like you. It's hard for us to commit to 12 months, but we'll commit to 3. And then we get done. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to commit to 3 more. All right, hammer down. Love y'all. Let's go get it. Let's go get it. I'm telling you, the magic is right now. The motivation is right now. Things are happening. It's happening everywhere. Just put yourself right in the way of the momentum we've got. Put yourself right in the way of that momentum. I promise you it's going to catch you up too. Holly and I love y'all. Hammer down.